So it's more just me like kind of testing my brain and
Cool.
if I can focus on that space again.
Laura, when you initially conceived of Lyric and you decided you kind of wanted to go the psychic route, which psychic discipline were you thinking of? For those of you listening and watching at home, in Dark Heresy, there are 5 different psychic disciplines. There's biomancy, which is like kind of using your psyker powers to jack yourself up, give yourself greater strength. It's brawn related. There's divination, which is cunning, associated with cunning, which is obviously the fucking Robert Downey Jr.
Looking
I
over
can
the
imagine a fight.
gains of fate.
As well as kind of glancing into the warp and into the future. Pyromancy, which means that if the cool kids dump a bucket of pig's blood on you, you just really fuck them up. Yep. Which is willpower. Telekinesis, which is moving objects with your mind, Jean Grey style. It's intellect-based. Or telepathy, reading people's minds, Jean Grey style, which is presence. Which of those were you thinking was the latent ability?
So I was thinking divination, because I think that would have helped her a lot in her situation as a bounty hunter. Like, that's why she was good, even though she took down, in hand-to-hand combat a lot of the time, people that were tougher than her. And I think she kind of was subconsciously using kind of like the barrier mechanism, which is like, you can kind of see, again, exactly, the Robert Downey Jr. Sherlock, which is like, you kind of see just in advance exactly how things are going to play out.
Well, for anyone who's listened to Dumb Scum and Villainy, our Star Wars show, I'm a firm believer of the idea that, like, everyone manipulates the Force in their own way, and, like, Han Solo's luck is just the Force acting in a way he understands it to. Hence why he can dodge Greedo's shot at point-blank range. Fuck you, George Lucas. But yes, I think that makes a lot of sense. It also ties nicely into being able to share the vision with Valentine.
Yeah.
Because obviously that's more of a divination-y thing. Not that he's a psyker, sure, but that's the nature of it. Cool. So go ahead and give yourself a rank in divination, please. Because you can't really control it yet, I would be inclined to say the way we'll treat this for now is if it's a dire situation, it might just happen by accident. We're basically going to play Teenage X-Men rules, where it's like, I don't really know what my powers are, but like sometimes it just happens. Alternatively, if it's a situation where it seems like that would be the thing, we'll lean on it then. A lot of the horror video games we've been playing lately, it would be like if you're walking into a context situation where it's just like, if you have this, then you get this additional piece.
Yeah.
Until you're trained. When you're trained, you can start actively being similar to how Iris uses her abilities in Blood and Syrup, where it's just like, I can kind of occasionally get a sense of like, this is what's coming, but it's not like a click on, click off.
Yeah. Ever since the shadows claimed Duskwood, I haven't been able to sleep. I'm kept awake by the ghostly sounds of screaming on the breeze.
Yes.
It sounds almost like lambs screaming, and they won't stop.
Yes, but basically, it's as we deal with kind of the unlocking of this, it's you can use the powers, but you can't necessarily control them yet.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah,
cool.
Great.
I can't wait to trigger Perils of the Warp, where we just accidentally kill us all.
Gotta tell you, I can't wait for that either. And then, cool. Okay, that's great. So, yeah, you can't kind of like feel Heinrich there anymore, but also I think for you, based on kind of your background and how you think about things, my guess would be it's less a Jedi looking for Force ghosts being like, oh, I hope my old master will show up and help, and more like, motherfucker, are you in my head? Because if you're in my head, I'm going to get you. So you don't feel any trace of him. However, it is something that you're kind of vaguely aware of now. Cool. Great. And finally, Valentine, how do you spend your 5 days?
I think he'd probably do kind of like 2 things with varying amounts of like, do people buy in or not? One is he'd try to teach Lyric what he could about like Astra Militarum kind of language, and like essentially right now he works with 2 people who are kind of hive trash, and he might need them to be able to fake being more worldly.
100%.
So he needs her, like Lyric, to theoretically be able to appear like a worldly bounty hunter. and he might, while supervising, see if he can get Haldren to try to teach Alto some of the basics of just like how you walk if you're a mechanic of nobody, and like maybe a basic can't, just because we can't hide Alto's mechadendrite in his face, so better to blend in than not.
100%. Okay, so basically,
trash. So good
and true. We have a 5-day My Fair Lady or Pygmalion montage of like, it's a lot of like hastily constructed whiteboards, and weirdly like Haldren and Valentine kind of holding court. Haldren, the more time you spend with him, he does actually seem very, very smart and very capable. For you, Valentine, his theories and his understanding of the machine spirit are kind of bonkers. At the same time, and correct me if I'm wrong lore-wise, I feel like the machine spirit is generally viewed with like a bit of an eye roll by everyone who isn't a tech priest. Like, it's like, yeah, sure, cool, whatever you got to do, man, just make sure my tank drives.
Yeah, I think it's like theoretically it's used a little casually, like how people name their cars currently. Like, yeah, if you're a Titan or a battleship, you probably have a legit personality amongst all the AI code, but like your calculator doesn't have a spirit. I think he'd kind of look at Haldren as probably like a useful kind of problematic person, which is like, if this guy ever starts to succeed, I have to kill him. But I think he's crazy and wrong. So instead he can just be useful until he either fails or learns.
And admittedly, as useful heretics go, everything is self-focused. So it's not like he's trying to preach to other people like you should become this. He's like, oh no, it's me though. Like they all got to live in me. I'll just carry all the robots until we can figure out a good place for them to live. So yeah, he's really just like a delightfully eccentric collector. But yeah, between the two of you, you managed to kind of catch them up a bit. Now, given that both the physical players and the characters aren't well versed in the 40K lingo and such, Ryan will probably lean on you for like basically running translation, which means Laura and Tyler, don't worry about actually having to have these terms. I don't fucking have these terms in hand. Instead, just kind of say what you're going to say, and if need be, Ryan just chime in with like, it's this.
Yeah, or maybe just I'll be like, you probably would wear something like this, and you could pick out the right thing. Like, we'll keep because I still see it as light in that regard. Yes.
I mean, I wouldn't say no to like a document that I could read. That would like give me a primer on this.
Try to write Swedish.
But regardless, sorry, go ahead, Ryan.
No, I was going to say the other thing I think he'd build into this, because a lot of it's just whiteboard shit, which is there. They're both, as far as he can tell, completely hopeless in close combat. Like, Lyric has been stomped every single time, and people are too injured to spar. But I think he'd try, if they're willing, to do like kata for like a half hour a day of just like, here's how you don't get stabbed by a giant tiger monster.
Would you both engage in that?
Alto would be like, we're gonna fight them again? Just like, Alto just like completely dismayed, like, I thought that part was done.
You like look at concerned, like you tap into Acri and he's like, no, don't worry there, champ. We're not going back to that planet. I don't even have the codes. I don't even know where it was. I missed my ship.
Yeah, Alto would be eager's not the right word. He would be open to learning. Yeah.
It's like learning how to put the safety vest on in an airplane. Like, I don't want to have to jump out of the plane into the ocean.
But it would probably be good to know.
I would like to know which tube I have to blow in.
Yeah. I don't want to have to learn this, but I have been on a plane that crashed is kind of...
Yeah, exactly. You're watching that video in a world where 60% of planes go down.
Yeah. It's like, oh, this is very useful. How about you, Lyric?
From my position, which is like in the corner laying down on my back with my eyes closed, I just like to Valentine, I just say aloud like, well, I'll watch you do it, and then when my insides aren't at risk of falling out of me again, then I'll practice.
Haldren just holds up some duct tape and is like, I can help.
Well, I mean, I didn't realize that you were so much more fragile than I am. But you know what? I'll mark through these, and maybe one day you'll be strong enough to be able to do them yourself.
No, you're not going to fucking goad me like that. Good try.
Oh, no. Oh, you'll try. Oh, that's good. You know, that's very impressive. The Emperor...
What? Someone took the ore?
That almost
just
worked.
do your thing. I'm fucking watching.
Yeah.
Well, that's what they always say about learning how to fight. Better to watch a few and then you're ready.
I hate you.
With that, Alto...
I don't have the skills to keep you two from killing each other. Please.
Well, don't worry. After all her not practice, neither will Lyric.
And then Haldren just raises all of his arms and one organic arm and says, I call dibs on her leg. And with that, the motley crew of the ship continues their training as they sail through the warp towards Vicodin Prime.
This episode of the Valentine Heresy features Ryan LaPlante, at the Ryan LaPlante on Twitter, as Inquisitor Lucius Valentine, Tyler Hewitt, at Tyler_Hewitt on Twitter as Alto, Laura Hamstra, at EL Hamstring on Twitter as Lyric, and our Game Master, Tom McGee, at McGeeTD on Twitter. This episode's sound was edited and mixed by Laura Hamstra, and the Valentine Heresy's artwork was created by Del Borovic, at delborovic.com. DELBOROVIC. Our theme song is The Hordes by Megan McDuffie, and our ads use the tracks No Control and Chiefs by Jazzar, JAHZZAR, available at freemusicarchive.org. When it comes to Dum Dums and Dice, you can visit our website at dumdumdice.com. Our Twitter and Instagram are at dumdumdice, and on Facebook at facebook.com/dumdumdice.
Changed episode.
We have merchandise available at redbubble.com/people/dumdumdice. And most importantly, you can join our Pull the Heretic.
Time, George Dolby. One be at a time.
Learning English is hard. That's why I make Easy Stories in English, where you can have fun while you learn. You can listen to stories full of action, romance, and mystery. Each episode, I tell stories for beginner, intermediate, and advanced learners, and there's a story for every mood. Whether you want something to wake you up or relax before going to bed, Easy Stories in English is the podcast for you.
Welcome back to the grim darkness of the 41st millennium. I am Inquisitor Caveat Ventus, keeper of the Inquisition's Black Library, and this is my report on the Valentine Heresy, an actual play podcast set in the Genesis adaptation of Warhammer 40,000's Dark Heresy RPG. This report features Game Master Tom McGee, Ryan LaPlante as Inquisitor Lucius Valentine, Laura Elizabeth as Lyric, and Tyler Hewitt as Alto. My report shows that the Inquisitorial band escaped the death world of Tren and prepared to capture a rogue trader. Alto assisted the others in their medical recovery. Lyric explored her burgeoning psychic powers, and Valentine welcomed Haldren Blackhand onto the team. What will they face on Vicodin Prime? Find out in this episode of the Valentine Heresy.
From the daily weather report of Vicodin Prime. Cloudy. You find yourselves looking down at a sort of a beautiful white-gray orb as the ship pulls out of warp into the Vicodin system. Vicodin Prime is a stunningly beautiful planet from this distance, although a cursory glance does show you that almost the entire planet, at least from where you can see, is covered in cloud cover. It seems to, in fact, be a tremendously cloudy day. You can see brief glimpses of kind of brilliant emerald green through the sort of gaps as the ship approaches the planet, but it is indeed a very cloudy day. You've been traveling for 5 days. Upon pulling out into the Vicodin system, Acri immediately attempts to contact the local networks and is met by static. There's nothing there static, but jamming. This wouldn't come as much of a surprise, I think, frankly, Valentine, you would understand this as, given that he's a rogue trader who runs like a massive industrial planet, the odds of him, like, you've seen this kind of shit before where it's like planets that are in the Imperium but kind of on the weird fringes. This kind of shit isn't unheard of. A lot of people like to kind of, I think amongst the Imperium, it's always been a bit of a joke. Where it's like, oh, cool, yeah, you're jamming our signals, great. Here's a fucking space marine. He's gonna level your planet. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah. It's always been like a low-level pirate move because it wouldn't stop an astropath. So anybody who's got a psyker, this is like sarcastically playing music outside. It's not stopping someone making a phone call.
It's a landlord saying you can't have pets in this building. It's illegal. And you're like, no, it's not illegal. Go fuck yourself. They're like, okay. So yes, it's clearly a sign of strength. I do think
describing the Imperium as a not so great like condo board is pretty accurate.
Yeah, I mean,
everything will be hell, and you're all gonna die here.
Except for the small cavils of people that you aren't part of, that you never get to see, that get to live in the condos and or just have them, which are the Space Marines. Like, oh, we spent all of our money on more Thunderhawks. Anyway, I don't know, just deal with chaos with your knife, you asshole.
I own a condo in a building. Oh my god, he's Primaris.
They better nerf his rules. The network, again, you can't tap into anything. Also, you obviously don't have an astropath, which is, I think, inconvenient in a way that you wouldn't have ever necessarily considered before Valentine, given that you've only, your space travel's been, fairly limited. Like, you kind of went on this one mission, and this is the tail end of that mission, where everything kind of went south. But it's a little bit like, if any of you have flown in like a small plane compared to like a very large plane, in a very large plane, it's very hard to tell you're flying at all. It's just like being just a large climate controlled box. Whereas if you're in a smaller plane, you feel everything. And weirdly, I mean, personally, I find it almost a little bit more comforting because I'm like, oh no, I get it. There's wind outside and we're kind of riding the wind. That's fine. Same thing with ships where it's just like, there's certain ships where it's just so big, you're like, I guess I'm just in a building. Like, we're on the water. And I think for Valentine, that's definitely the ship that you were on at the beginning of our story was huge, and that was the same one you took out. So all that to say, traveling without an astropath is actually wildly inconvenient in a way that I don't think it would have even dawned on you could be possible, because it's like, I guess, a current generation that's used to Waze and Google Maps suddenly not having any maps or GPS and just being like, well, how the fuck?
Yeah, we also had to use warp beacons, and we don't have a navigator. Like, he has taken so many steps back from how things are meant to be done.
And Acri as a pilot, as a human pilot, had better skills than he does as a robot, but also he was literally built as part of a two-way, like, he was basically a glorified like tram system. Like, the astral line was literally meant to just ferry people to all of the different Galen planets in that system so they could be tourists. Like, he's doing a good job, but yeah, he's not, you know.
Yeah, he's a race.
He's not R2-D2. He's not like,
sense that the Universal Studios employee stands at the front of the Fast and the Furious ride and is like, whoa, and it rides a line.
100%, yeah. So, needless to say, it's impressive that you arrived where you intended to, and that's, I think, partially from the combined efforts of Alto tinkering with systems and Haldren tinkering with systems and Acri's just kind of innate piloting. But B, yeah, you had to use warp beacons. It's a smaller ship. It's also been heavily modified in order to even be able to do this. So basically, a lot of things went really right for you guys, which is new for the party, because you haven't had a lot of things going right up until now. The trip took you 2 additional days, which in warp terms isn't bad at all. But it does mean that you've been gone a full week. I am roughly tracking our sort of countdown. As I mentioned a long time ago, in no way, shape, or form am I going to like mark this down as like, well, you took 3 long rests, so the Emperor's dead. But I think just so we have a rough benchmark of where we are and kind of roughly what's happening. It'll be loose but useful.
Yeah, I was also thinking in terms of prophecy with warp meets reality and all this kind of stuff on the way, and I also realized, oh wait, all 10 of them are there in a year. We actually don't, like, Valentine I think has been thinking the way Ryan would have, which is like, well, what happens when we take out 1? Does that mean all 9 of them are there in a year, or does it timeline shift? man, he would hate not being psychic. With shit, it's the only time in his life he's ever wished to be a psyker. It's just to do better with.
Oh, I wish I was more heretical.
Yeah.
The Valentine not heresy enough. Am I right? Get at me, heresy Twitter. Okay, so you're within range of the planet. It's a smallish planet, which doesn't really come as a tremendous surprise, given that it is seemingly dedicated to kind of one niche industry. Yeah. What preparations would you make? How would you want to approach? What's the next step for you now that you're kind of out of warp?
If we were looking at the world, and we probably would have whatever our most up-to-date map was, which might not be that recent, but is there like a starport kind of thing like Tom? Is it all based on the surface where you'd have to go down to get into the heart of the industry in the city, or is it up above?
Yeah. So there isn't any specific information. I think you get a rough, like, in the same way that I think old maps would have, like, there's a port here. You have that much information, but not really much more. It is mostly planet side. You get the sense based on the kind of cargo that would be coming on and off a distillery planet. Like, there's a lot of loading involved, and you don't, like, he's rich, but he's not like build a skyhook to, like, mid-level space station kind of guy. Also, I feel like space stations are relatively rare in 40K verse. Am I correct in that thing?
It tends to be planets either are specialized and then it's like an asteroid that does it. Some of them have like star forts, or like their moon is weaponized, so they have that. Like, it probably more important. Small people, no, they would not have that.
Yeah. You also, I mean, none of you have encountered this information, but I think I can just give it to you. The Vicodin family has been making this alcohol for generations. It's a long-standing thing, and based on his name, you've probably assumed by now that I'm pulling a lot from Scotland. It's a lot like Scotch distilleries in Scotland, where the idea of having to present the tradition also matters. Alexander Keith's beer does this in Nova Scotia as well, where it's like the act of, like, the performative act of, no, we do things the old-fashioned way seems to be important to this brand. So you can assume that, yeah, they wouldn't have like it's not, if we're talking distilleries, it's not like a Coors where it's just like, oh no, fucking whatever, just dump it in, I don't care. It's like, oh no, it's barrel aged, it's very important. So yes, there is less a starport and more kind of, even just from loose planetary scans, there's only really one hub of civilization on this planet that is sending off any signals. So despite the cloud cover, you can ascertain kind of where that is, and that is clearly the location of the distillery. I'll say from the records you do have of this planet, they're, again, very loose, because why would you have... You can't access the network, but, like, just in terms of general
why would this ship have it? Yeah.
Yeah. But in terms of, like, a general... Like, I've got to assume that the Imperium would have a rough idea of planets that have been encountered. This planet is actually labeled as a feudal world, so a planet that was not advanced by the Imperium specifically. So for us thinking about this, Earth would probably be considered this if Earth was, like... there is an Earth in 40K, but... In terms of, like, okay, like, yeah, sure, we've kind of done our best, but we're not really that technologically advanced. We're just kind of, we've done our best to a point. Most feudal worlds are much more basic than that. They are literally like, there's one person with a gun and everyone else has a sword. But in this case, because it's been handed down from generation to generation, it's more technologically advanced, but it is listed, the categorization is feudal.
All right, so having seen what we've seen amongst these records, friends, so the feudal world designation would suggest that, at least before it was colonized, or however old this star chart is, this world was somewhat primitive, and it may be primitive outside of the central area. Now, we could go in and wave the old, shall we say, inquisitorial stick about, which is something that would open a certain number of doors. However, it would close any doors that they don't want the Inquisition to have access to. So I believe we've got two clear options, and I'm interested to hear any ideas anyone else has, because the Emperor loves innovation. So what I'm thinking is we can either go down, set down somewhere kind of hidden and try to insert ourselves into the capital to find what we need
too high.
on the outside. So once we know and have more information, perhaps with
45,
claims
and
certain
I
things
have
we need, healing supplies, perhaps better
104.
armor. As far as I
Yeah,
can tell,
that's
assuming
way
we wear
off.
elaborate coats. That might be something we could improve.
Oh.
Otherwise, are you okay, Alto?
Did you need to roll a death save there, Alto, from your wounded side?
Just clutches Kel's cloak that he inherited after she died. It was like, whoa.
Oh, so you like the coat? Oh, but we could put armor under it. I'm not saying the coat has to go. I'm just saying it's clearly not keeping you alive in the way it did when you fought, I don't know, neighbors with sticks. I don't know terribly much about hives, and I don't mean to be insulting. You do have electro whips. I'm aware you're far beyond the feudal world. But the other option would be to try to, shall we say, gussy ourselves up and come up with a cover story about representing some sort of secret shipping concern or someone who might want to have business dealings with the Vicodin liquor group. That would again open some doors, and then we could just boot open a few more by showing a rosette and sticking guns in faces that aren't ready for guns. How does everyone feel about deception versus secrecy?
I'm fine with
third thing.
That's great. Yeah, let's lie our way in. I don't care.
Yeah, I mean, we've done our fair share of, massaging the truth before, for a job or just to kind of get by, but we haven't really done a big con to get onto another planet. I mean, it sounds easy. You make it sound easy, so it should be fine, right?
Well, based on the feedback that you're both giving, one of you disturbing overconfidence without an ability to hide their emotions or thoughts, and the other saying they've never done a con, I think we might want to go secret for the first bit. And then maybe do the con when we have more information that we could back up. I trust you are both capable, but I would say improvisation probably doesn't make your top 5 skills. We've used this whiteboard here, and you look over, there's just an eagle with 2 heads. It just says Imperium with an arrow at it. And he's like, you're understanding the basics, but I think we might want to get more advanced before we start riffing bits when it comes to imperial aristocracy on a rogue trader world. So why don't we try to find a point near the capital, but far enough away that they won't see us set down, and then we can try to engage on our own terms.
I should be able to do that. I can do that.
Yes.
God,
it takes you
Oh,
so
did the
long to
item
say
quest get deleted as well when I remove the quest?
Switches over to manual flight and starts to chart a course
Seems
for
like it.
near the capital.
Sure.
Holdred, this is an awkward question. Can I just speak with you quietly at the back of the ship for a moment?
Quietly? Yeah, I love quiet. Let's go.
I regret this decision, but I've already made it. Do you know what? Maybe the Emperor sent you to me for a reason. Here's the thing, Holdred. You look like someone who naturally understands people. And I know I can be a bit distant from them at times. Lyric does not like or trust me. Which is bothersome because it means she tends to make decisions that are destructive for the group, our goals, and ultimately herself. But when I try to include her in planning, she just says yes to everything and then leaves. I'm sort of out of strategies. I've tried taking it head on, and I've tried including her in our decisions moving forward. How did you get people to agree with you to give you machine spirits you weren't supposed to have? How did you survive for so long? You must have been good at making friends.
Oh, yeah, okay, well, listen. Imperial Guard are very squishy. I think we've been over this. Real squishy. They die so easily.
So great. So does Lyric.
Okay, good. All right, yeah. This is a good baseline. Okay, look. So, they realized that if I wasn't, fixing the beautiful, sweet creatures that were driving them into combat, they'd just get squished. So they really liked when I'd patch up the vehicles and such. So they realized I had value to them. And as a result, they were kind of okay with me. So there was that element of it, which was pretty good. But also, look, I mean, I know you're from you're an Inquisitor and you got a lot of experience with all this space stuff, and that's really cool and all. But have you really talked to her about what she did? I mean, it sounds like that Astro boy over there got real bummed out when he made fun of his coat. you know, it's important. This is something I saw a lot with the Guard, you know? Because, you know, you and me, we kind of grew up inside the Imperium. Everyone's like, hey, you guys are great. And, you know, we kind of are. We're just kind of better than normal people, right? But the normal people still have full lives. All those squishy Guard folk, they really, like, they thought they were a big deal. So, like, maybe find out what she did. And what she's good at, what she takes pride in, you know? Because right now, it kind of seems like you're treating them, admittedly kind of the way you treat Imperial Guard, and those guys suck. So, maybe, ask her what she likes, figure out kind of what she used to do, and maybe that might even help with your plan, why not?
It's an interesting idea. I'll try it. I'll tell you, she does not respond well to curiosity, but I'll see what I can do. I'm interested. I do believe I could grow closer to Alto through these methodologies. I believe he shows great potential for the future, for himself and for the Emperor, so thank you.
Yeah, well, listen, if there's one thing I learned from kind of being away from the rest of the Mechanicum and such, it is hard out there for a tech priest. It is scary and weird. And I thought I was kind of equipped to deal with everything, and then I found myself alone, surrounded by a bunch of squishy idiots. It seems to me like you're kind of surrounded by squishy idiots. So the only way out is to really realize that you don't have, like, no Space Marines are showing up. The Adeptus Astartes aren't there, like, they're not coming. It's just you. And, no offense, but, like, I've literally seen inside you now. And her. You guys are pretty squishy. You're a squishy bunch. Now, you want to install some metal on your guy, and I see you already got some nice optics going, so, like, good stuff. But, it's just the three of you against the world, and me now, so, haha. But, you know, it's important to remember, whatever you think you've got backing you up, you don't got it no more. It's just us.
Yes.
And my spirits, of course.
You're right. I assumed that establishing that I wouldn't sacrifice them and would sacrifice anyone else to save them would be something that she would appreciate, but it seems to have driven her further away. I'll think on this, Holden. You're very wise. Do you prefer the appellate ma'am? I don't know if you prefer something else.
I mean, man's fine. Honestly, I've kind of transcended the whole squishy human bit, but, you know, whatever makes you feel good, bud.
I mean, would you prefer adept? We could use separate.
Yeah, adept would be very nice. You know, no one's called me that in a long time. That'd be very good.
You're an honorable adept, my friend.
Ah, shucks.
It is a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you.
I think he'd offer him a hand.
He reaches out, and you notice that he's actually replaced one more of his fingers at some point in the last 5 days. You're not really sure.
Didn't even notice?
Yeah, he's like...
Just cannibalizing the ship?
And he's like, thank you. You're, I was always kind of spooked out by you Inquisitor folk, but you seem pretty cool. Anyway, I'll leave you to it. And as he walks away, you notice that he has one very long toe.
I need to get closer. Interesting. All right.
It's organic. It's organic.
I see what he did.
I can't cast that yet. Well, you know, everyone. Nobody's nerfect, as the Emperor always says, so...
How much of what Haldren just boisterously said to Valentine did the rest of the ship hear?
I think I will say that despite his boisterous attitude, this all would have been uncomfortably enthusiastic guy with his arm around your shoulder speaking loudly into your ear. Conversation. I think you would have heard the cadence of it, so it would have been a lot like... and then like also like all of his arms were twitching, so there's like servos moving and things, and they're not quiet. Like again, a couple of them are like full steampunk weirdness. So no, I think it was loud enough that you were like, I think of the two of you, Lyric, I don't think you would really give two fucks what they were talking about, but like Alto, if you were like doing that thing where you're kind of trying to listen in, it was very hard. I don't think you really got much of it.
Okay, no, I was just mostly like just the way that started off of like, can we have a private conversation? It's like, yeah, no problem. I just wanted to know how much.
He
was.
He doesn't
if
have.
If it was private, then Alto would not be consciously being like, I gotta see what they're up to.
Yeah, it's private in the way that two people talking at room volume in a party is private. Like he doesn't have the volume doesn't really go down, but it was enough that it was hard to hear.
You guys may have talked while I was back there, you know, who knows?
Yeah. That is a good question, actually. over the course of the 5 days / now, do you think you two would have taken a moment to kind of check in with each other?
Alto would be checking in, for sure.
I think Lyric would just give like occasional reminders, like if she ever saw like Alto like talking to Valentine or Valentine approaching him, it would just be like Lyric would be following that up with like, we don't fucking trust him, right? Like
yeah,
just get ready to like leave this guy.
You and me all the way, for sure. Yeah.
Okay.
It's just, he's been around. It's kind of cool to hear what he has to say. I think we could learn a lot from him.
Yeah, yep.
But we don't trust him.
No, not at all.
No, yeah, okay, cool. And just hands on the sticks and just like, okay, yeah, eyes forward, kind of. That's like our converse. Like
that's just like patting him on the back and going to lay on the floor in the corner again.
Alto knows like how our conversations end. Of like, oh, Lyric has said has communicated what needs to be made like known, and it's like, okay. Conversation over.
I received the basic information required to do the next task. That's
so I think the moment Lyric leaves, it's Valentine coming from his Haldren talk. He's feeling pumped to like learn about people's feelings, and he'll just swing into the same chair and be like, "Alto, of all the things in the galaxy, what would you like out of this world? I've realized I don't know you well, and that is my fault."
What would I want? In the world?
Yes,
this world?
You've got a life given to you by the Emperor. And we're on this quest now. But what do you want next, if you got to choose?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure I remember seeing some schematics for some really, really interesting craft out there that the Imperium gets to use for, I would assume, military applications, but it looks really sophisticated, and I would be lying, if I said I wasn't interested in getting my hands on one of those things or giving them a spin,
Well, do you want to join the Navy and fight the Xenos in it, defend the realm? Do you want to run a shipping concern? Do you want to be your own rogue trader? Fly through the stars, meet species, sell things?
Oh, I couldn't do anything, without Lyric with me. We're a team, she and I, so whatever we do, it would be together. So maybe what Lyric wants, and I can, kind of tag along now. This is already a pretty big improvement. Most of the time, Lyric goes out on a bounty hunt, and I stay home. So getting to be out, pilot a few crafts, it's been great so far.
How old are you?
Ignore us dying. I'm 21.
Interesting. Well, what's the craft you want to fly? If you had to choose.
I think I saw schematics once, and it was called like and I'm going to need maybe some help here, like a Titan or an Iron Knight or something? Like a big bipedal...
Imperial Knight, you're talking full... Oh, that is a lofty goal, my friend, but it is what I'm interested in, and you do have the Mind Impulse unit. Have you tackled anything that has its own... I guess for lack of a better term, large-scale machine spirit. Not the ones that you find in, like, cogitators or anything, but something that fought back.
No, not really. No, I was just fascinated by a machine shaped like a person, that you put a person in. It seems like a really fascinating concept.
Acri kind of, like, clears his throat. Oh,
yes,
Well, Acri didn't fight back, though, right? That's the thing.
No, but granted, I didn't have too much experience with, the big guys back when I was piloting, but gotta tell you, I've been quite enjoying our partnership here, friendo. It's been kind of nice, and if this is any indication, I think you probably get along just fine with the machine spirit.
Oh, well, okay, great, and then maybe. You're an inquisitor, right? So maybe you could, I don't know, make something happen. I don't know how it works.
Well, do you know?
You talk like the Emperor or whatever it is.
Requisition and iron. Here's my paperwork.
You've got the Emperor's accent, is I think what you say, right?
Well, yes, I speak with his voice, but what I think you could do...
The Emperor's accent!
This is exactly what he sounded like historically.
You do an impression of the Emperor.
Yes,
I speak with his voice. Different but similar enough that this isn't worth going down the line on. So the
Inquisition's just a bunch of shitty ventriloquists.
Yeah. Hello, I'm the Emperor. Nice chair, am I right?
How is he doing that?
No, but I think we've set up something that you want, and I think the risks you're taking on this goal are incredible. And I believe you deserve a reward at the end of this, because if you've saved the Emperor, then you have done your duty. And if we could find a way to extend that, we could do interesting things. I believe you are a bright, loyal soul. In the end, I hope we can find it for you. But along the way, let's look for ways we can use that mind impulse unit. The more you're used to dealing with larger and larger scale machine spirits, the more prepared you'll be for a knight or a titan.
Okay, yeah. I'll try and practice or whatever. Like, also just kind of like thinking of like we're not like we've got less than a year now to save the God Emperor of the Empire of Man or whatever it's called. Is thinking like probably don't have a lot of downtime for running drills or anything. So just kind of thinking like, yeah, I guess just any opportunities that come up, I'll try and seize on them.
Oh, no. I don't mean that you have to do this on your own recreationally. What I'm saying is we can try to build it into plans. If we have to go into a facility, for example, a shipping facility where we know large scale, perhaps bipedal robots, machinery might be lifting things. Those things need drivers. Maybe we could choose a version that needs that rather than
they climbing a ladder for that stuff too?
I think everything will help you expand your skill set. And if you're having fun and serving the Emperor, as far as I know, that makes you immortal.
That is a concept that like blows Alto's mind. He's not sure how truthful you're being. He's like, immortal?
Well, you'll live forever with his spirit in the heavens, and he will be pleased, because the work that pleases him should also please you.
Oh, okay.
The camera slowly pans to Haldren standing nearby, politely not engaging in this conversation, being like, oh yeah, machine spirits. Oh, that sounds pretty good. What a specialized knowledge group. Yep. Pretty interesting. But he's not saying it loud enough to interrupt your conversation, because he's just advised you to do this yourself. So it's more him just muttering to himself, being like, always a bridesmaid.
Yeah,
and always a tech maid.
Alto's experience with machine spirits is so limited that he probably isn't connecting the dots of like, this guy is housing machine spirits.
And I don't think the concept of machine spirits would exist on Hive World. I really don't. Like, it's so...
Well, he's also not
insane.
trained. Machine spirits is like you're inducted into the cult of shit.
Well, and again, it's literally like, anytime anyone showed up and be like, hey, I brought you Christianity, and people are like, what the fuck are you talking about? We're barely scraping by. They're like, but have you thought about maybe also building a church? You're like, no, I don't want to do that. I need food. So it's that kind of thing where it's like the Hive, as we talked about with the Emperor, where it's just like, oh yeah, cool, the Emperor, great. Cool wherever he is.
That's kind of how Alto's been raised, right? So when he was like, your spirit lives on, Alto was kind of like, well, all right, fine.
Yeah.
All right, so obviously this is the beginning of a journey, and it's important that you make it. And I have limited expertise, but I may be able to summon opportunity. For example, Haldren.
Tell you what now?
I believe we have a man. He's 21. I thought he was younger. But we have a man here who would like to know more about the mysteries of the machine spirit, because he has an interest in one day piloting a knight or mayhaps a titan.
All of the spider arms shoot through the cockpit at weird angles and just drag him in a power slide of just like a casual lean up the stairs awkwardly, and he kind of like bumps his leg and the toe falls off. Then he slides up to the cockpit. He's like, you rang? Machine spirit, you say? A titan, you say? Well, that's very interesting indeed, young man. Yeah, you wanna play in the big leagues, drive the big machines, huh?
I mean, maybe if we save the Emperor, I can get a titan, for recreational use or something, right? Like that's...
Admittedly, that is something I would also enjoy. Yeah, let's do that. Hey, I meant to ask you, so you said we're trying to save the Emperor. You mean like the Emperor, not like an Emperor of lesser renown, right?
No, I mean the big man funneling the astropathic wire, creating the Astronomicon center of the entire Imperium.
Yeah, all right, that's what I was afraid of. Listen, obviously very concerned about him. And he like puts all of his robot arms on your shoulders, Valentine, and he's like, but I gotta ask, What happens to the chair? Is the golden throne okay at least?
Well, if we do this right, yes.
But if we don't...
Destroyed, pissed on by an orc. There's a chaos space between the two.
And just like all of like it's there's kind of like a Galadriel getting the ring moment where like all like the arms kind of like, you know, almost shake their fists, but you can also see other bits moving under his robes. And it's like an alarming, like kind of jolting thing. He's like, we gotta stop those assholes. Anyway, and they all like fold back, and he's like, happy to help.
Alto,
you just let me know when you want to drive the machines, and I'll help you out.
Well, Alto, this may seem nerve-wracking, but so is partnership between new partners, and no one pilots a Titan alone. They need, you know, a Moderati Primus. They need someone to supervise the gunnery. They need someone to supervise the engine. Perhaps you two could provide more support for each other than you'd think.
Okay, yeah. We could work together on some stuff, right? Aldrin?
I'd love to. Shake on it. And he extends one of his robot hands again. This time a little bit more like,
Alto will, like, hesitantly put out a fleshy, twiggy limb and just, like, very delicately shake it.
It's like, your flesh hand. I see how it is. Okay.
And then he like looks over, like the mechadendrite arm comes down and like interlocks.
Oh, there you go. That's a proper greeting. All right. This is the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
Okay, good to know.
Valentine will be like, you boys have fun. And then go back to where Lyric is.
Lyric, what do you think you'd be doing at this point? Are you still just like laying on the floor holding your guts in?
Yeah.
Thinking about psychery things?
Absolutely. I am using every moment to recuperate.
Great.
Because that is what needs to be done right now.
I'm very glad nothing will come along to disturb that. Enter Valentine.
Hello. Like, he's not entirely sure how to have a conversation that is purposeless. I think that's what his problem is here, because he was raised in the Scholar Progenium, transferred to the Commissariat Military Police, transferred to the Inquisition. He doesn't understand how anyone lives their life without knowing exactly why they're doing the thing they're doing with a clear end goal. So chit-chat has never been a thing for him. Probably also shut down constantly by everyone. So he like pulls up a chair, and I imagine it's like that thing where like it takes a little too long and it's a little too slow, and it like scrapes really loudly the whole time as he like brings it up.
I open one eye and kind of track you and then close it again.
I understand that you don't like me. And I
Not really that I don't like you, I'm just kind of indifferent and don't trust you.
Oh, that's, I mean, a general improvement from when you yelled, I hate you earlier, so seems like a net gain.
I mean, I also hate you, but that's moment to moment.
Hate is very different from indifference, but wow, you really have a skill for throwing people off conversationally. I'm here because I know my purpose. And right now we're all pursuing my purpose, but that doesn't seem tremendously rewarding for anyone else, other than saving humanity. But again, that makes fewer people's lists of goals than I would expect. What do you want out of life?
Wait, are you really asking me what I want out of life or what I want out of what we're doing?
Well, life beyond this. I would imagine you want to survive this.
Yeah, I want the money.
Yes, exactly. But I mean, what do you want to do with the money? What's the end goal?
Fucking survive.
So your only goal is to not die.
Well, yeah, and for Alto to not die either. I mean, isn't that all just like what we do? We just like live until we die and try to put off the dying as long as we can. Like, it's not that fucking difficult to understand.
But you've chosen bounty hunting as a profession, and you've chosen to refuse alliances, be uneasy with friends, trust no one. Those are all things that usually allow people to survive more effectively.
Yeah, you'd think that.
What happened to you two? Because that is a 21-year-old man with the mind of a 12-year-old who has no dreams outside of doing what you tell him. And that means something has happened to him and to you. And I say this as someone who observes a lot of human relationship and has studied psychology. If he has no dreams but yours at the age of 21, there will come a reckoning. Not that's summoned by anyone else, but that will be summoned by him realizing that he has his own wants. And if you're not prepared for that conversation, there will be a cost. It will cost you, and despite what you may think of me, I wish you no pain. I wish you happiness. I wish you success in this quest, that we can save humanity, and then I wish you to take that money and for you to live long and happily. Well, what happened?
Look, what do you want? Like, I like, what are you asking? I don't understand. Like, just be fucking direct.
There is a crackling on the radio that doesn't interrupt your conversation, but is suddenly present over all the speakers. It's a static crackle, and you can almost hear a voice coming through it, but not quite.
Alto would start tending to that, since he'd be at the helm.
Yep.
In the cockpit. He's flying manually, but he would also, I think he would have the wherewithal or the necessary skill to start kind of trying to track that frequency while flying.
Sure. And Akri's helping.
Oh, it's my weapon that does that, right?
So, you've got the burn detector.
Where the hell is the moonfire coming from?
I think that's sort of occurring as their conversation is going on. As soon as you've breached the atmosphere, the radio contact starts to come in. And you're just hearing like a constant static crackle and occasionally like almost a voice shouting, you think. You could just pick up like occasional syllables. But it's kind of like a kind of thing. That said, you're in dense cloud cover. So currently you physically can't see anything. Valentine and Lyric, would you continue to have this conversation or would you break off at this? Given that you're also kind of at a conversational impasse.
I would say best be attending to that, eh?
And I think Valentine would answer the question that she asked before she tried to segue out and just say,
so as she walks by, you just like clamp her arm.
Yeah. What I want you to realize is that I would burn a world before I would let you or your brothers die. That's all. Time for me to go attend my task. And he'd just get up and go to the cockpit and leave her to heal or whatever.
What a confusing, weird man.
Out of the, as Valentine, as you settle in, again, just like clouds blasting past the viewport, Alto, you're starting to get pings, so you can kind of ascertain roughly where you might be able to set down, and where you're getting large concentrations of things. What's surprising is you're getting a lot more signatures than you expected from a planet that is essentially like a distillery. And suddenly a proximity alarm starts to go off on the ship, and it would seem that there are vessels closing in on either side of yours. They seem to be atmospheric. They clearly aren't space vessels. And through the, as you kind of squint out, can both of you please roll me a perception check? For the love of God, I was looking for a fucking spot hidden. Goddamn Mythos Mysteries. Okay, so, Lyric, you can roll me one too if you think you've joined them up in the cockpit. If you're hanging out back in the cargo bay, you wouldn't be able to see any of this, but...
No, action's happening, so...
Great, okay.
Are you looking for difficulty to set this against?
Yep, or? Surely am. So, we're gonna go with... for those of you with organic eyes, we're going to go with a difficulty of 4. Valentine, do your optics, do they have like heat signature, night vision?
They remove challenge dice from perception and vigilance rolls.
Okay, great.
According to environmental factors.
But that is very convenient because this is theoretically I would be adding setback rather than difficulty, but this is an odd case. I'm going to set yours at 2.
Okay.
I'm not going to give anyone setback dice for this. It's a bit different than trying to see something in cover, just because you're flying and there's cloud and there's sort of shapes. Also, because this is a spacefaring vehicle, it's not like being in sort of an Earth airplane where you have like a cockpit where you can physically see everything around you, because in space you don't need to. You have instruments for that. Cool. So yeah, go ahead with that. In terms of story points, unfortunately, we're sitting at 1 and 5 in my favor.
Yeah.
So one of you can use one if you so desire. Given that Ryan's got the best odds, it might make sense to give it to him, but you're also possibly in danger, so it's up to you whether you want to use it or not.
I think I'll let this one just play out clean, and we'll see what happens.
Fantastic. Okay. Alto, you can take a boost dice from Acri, since you're wired in through him. Yeah, I will leave it at that.
Cool.
Okay, I have my results. Everyone else? Okay, 2 successes, 1 threat.
Okay.
Me too, twin.
Oh, hey. Brother, sister. There we go.
And I have 3 successes and 2 advantage.
It gives me a little more armor and plus 8 strength, but if I switch, I will lose agility, stamina, and intellect, and the boost, reinforced armor my friend can probably make again. So I'm not gonna lose that.
Things. It's that beautiful kind of wispy white cloud that you find in kind of
but I guess my DPS would increase. Yeah, I'm gonna switch.
It's not like, oh, it's gonna rain. It's just like, no, it's just beautiful clouds. So you're seeing these 2 vehicles flanking you, and they look a bit like, you can see wings, you can see cockpits, like they're definitely aircraft. And you see kind of like vaguely through the white of these clouds, just flashes of red. And then you see fire. You can see actual like burn trails from smaller things that almost look like rockets kind of flying around these. And slowly the radio is kind of clearing up the more and more you fuck with it. I think also in like in a vaguely Jurassic Park-y, like increasingly concerned, like, what is this way? And finally you find the frequency, and the single syllable begins to stretch. And instead of a single letter, you begin to hear it for what it is. A horrifying, chilling scream of "Wah!" And with that, the orcs open fire.
This episode of the Valentine Heresy features Ryan LaPlante at the Ryan LaPlante on Twitter.
I'll actually meet orcs. That's cool.
Tyler Hewitt at Tyler_Hewitt on Twitter as Alto. Laura Hamstra at EL Hamstring on Twitter as Lyric. And our Game Master, Tom McGee at McGeeTD on Twitter. This episode's sound was edited and mixed by Laura Hamstra, and the Valentine Heresy's artwork was created by Del Borovic at delborovic.com. DELBOROVIC. Our theme song is The Hordes by Megan McDuffie, and our ads use the tracks No Control and Chiefs by Jazzar. JAHZZAR. Available at freemusicarchive.org. When it comes to Dum Dums and Dice, you can visit our website at dumdumdice.com. Our Twitter and Instagram are at dumdumdice, and on Facebook at facebook.com/dumdumdice. We have merchandise available at redbubble.com/people/dumdumdice. And most importantly, you can join our Patreon at patreon.com/dumdumdice. That's DUMBDICE. Ave Imperator, and death to all the heretics.
Next episode, 2 seconds.
Dum Dums and Dice has to give a special thank you.
Learning English is hard. That's why I make easy stories in English, where you can have fun while you learn. You can listen to stories full of action, romance, and history. Each episode, I tell stories for beginner, intermediate, and advanced learners, and there's a story for every mood. Whether you want something to wake you up or relax before going to bed, Easy Stories in English is the podcast for you.
Welcome back to the grim darkness of the 41st millennium. I am Inquisitor Caveat Ventus, keeper of the Inquisition's Black Library, and this is my report on the Valentine Heresy, an actual play podcast set in the Genesis adaptation of Warhammer 40,000's Dark Heresy RPG. This report features Game Master Tom McGee, Ryan LaPlante as Inquisitor Lucius Valentine, Laura Elizabeth as Lyric, and Tyler Hewitt as Alto. My report shows that the Inquisitorial band's ship was attacked by orcs over Vicodin Prime. Valentine attempted to care about his team's personal motivations. Alto wants to pilot a Titan, and Lyric was confused by anyone's interest in her feelings. Can they survive an orc assault and get to the planet's surface? Find out in this episode of the Valentine Heresy.
From the Imperial Report on Xenos, Chapter Many. Orcs are an incredibly tough, warlike species that seems quite content to merely slaughter and fight in the names of their gods. How they can manage to build these machines and fly them and shoot them and slash with them is truly beyond me, as the machine spirit would not seem to be present in a single one. But nevertheless, they are a force to be reckoned with and should be dealt with cautiously. From an intercepted orc transmission. Daka 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 daka. Wah! Daka 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 daka. So yeah, that's what I would like you to build. Yeah, I can build that. You were on the receiving end of said daka 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 dakas as the orc sluggers and shooters open up in fine form. If you'll recall, you're currently entering the atmosphere, heading down to the Vicodin distillery in search of Glass Cow Vicodin, one of the Confederacy that has set out to kill our beloved God Emperor and his golden throne. You entered the incredibly foggy and densely clouded planetary atmosphere only to encounter a burst transmission of wah, followed by the trademark Daka Daka of the shooters, which I mostly remember because when I was playing orcs, so much of the dialogue was just them yelling noises they thought their guns made, and it just tickles me so deeply that rather than trying to describe weapons, they're like, yeah, you know, it's like it's long, and it goes like Daka 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 Daka, and the thing comes out and they die. It's like, oh yeah, sure, I'll get you one of those right here. So you're on the receiving end of that right now. Around you, around the ship, there are currently 4 massive aircraft. And the best way to imagine these is think like a World War II Spitfire if it was built out of trash in a junkyard and then painted by a 4-year-old who really liked Hot Wheels. Kind of in that vein. Lots of bright colors. Admittedly, they're very beautiful and distinctive. And I feel like, Alto, for you, there is... just seeing the glimpses, in that kind of like back end of terror that you try not to pay any attention to when you're in under threat. You can see just these weird flashes of genius, and really like these are the kind of vehicles you could imagine building. I don't think anything off a factory line would ever be something you would ever imagine you could build, just because your hive world had no real factories to speak of. But something that you hammer together out of stuff you found is basically the story of most of your gear. So you already you have an immediate begrudging respect, I think, for these opponents. Just moments before the slugs start tearing into the armor around the vehicle. Lyric, do you think you would know orcs? I mean, it's entirely possible. They're enough of a threat, I think, to the galaxy that it's entirely possible.
I feel like there could have, there would have been, propaganda about them, no?
I feel like,
or maybe not.
So Imperial propaganda is a strange beast, because the Xenos are generally lumped together. It's just like the Xenos are basically, if it's not human, shoot it. Is the general rule, which also leads me to think that I feel like it'd be more like a District 12, District 9. District 12 is from Hunger Games. District 9 poster where it's just like a big spooky silhouette of a hypothetical alien that's just like, Xenos, kill.
Right.
But also, I don't think orcs would have ever, I don't think your particular planet ever encountered orcs. And actually, I don't need to say I don't think. I'm the god of this world. Orcs never found their way to your planet.
Yeah.
But that said, they are definitely a known quantity because they have like destroyed enough planets and are enough of a threat that like you might know them by name. I don't know. What do you think?
I mean, Lyric picks up stuff. She socks away information she's heard. She's had to do. She did some bounties for some of the Inquisition, like or the Inquisitors. So probably, yeah. Right, I would say she's aware, but in that like aware, never expecting to encounter.
Okay, so like how I think
also
of the Kardashians.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and will probably have a very negative reaction when she does encounter them.
I mean, still me with the Kardashians. Yeah, I getcha.
Yeah.
Naka Kardashian.
Very cool. Okay, great. So, yeah, I think then similar to I think how we think about the way that sailors used to talk about mermaids or foreign lands or anything else. You've heard of greenskins. You've heard of like there's a lot of tall tales that I think have come across your mental desk. That's a stupid metaphor, but you get what I'm picking. You're picking up what I'm putting down. It's me slapping myself for those of you listening at home. Cool. So you're not. I don't think you know enough to recognize this technology, but anything screaming into a microphone and shooting at you generally needs to die. And Valentine, I think based on what you've told me about your other, like you've trained against sort of like automated versions of most Xenos, so I feel like that's probably the best you've had for orcs.
Yeah, I feel like he'd have had that for orcs because, I mean, he started off being trained as a commissar before he went to the Inquisition, and orcs are probably the most common Xenos foe that you'd throw guard against, like orcs and Nids. If it's Eldar, like, or Aeldari or whatever they're called now, but like...
I'm going to call him Eldar the whole fucking time.
Guard are fucked. You just got to hit him with like a big chunky tank. Like, that's not going to be infantry.
Well, but also they're squishy. Like, they wear armor, but they're like...
They're fast and sneaky.
Shooting a space elf is like shooting a space human. It's the same. Whereas the orcs are like legitimately much tougher and can take a lot more.
Yeah. Also, he's got some points in forbidden lore, so I feel like he's also a book guy. He probably reads what he can.
No, but I think that's a really good point though about commissars being trained against orcs, and I feel like you've probably been privy to like the dissection of an orc and like some other kind of gross, weird space fascist stuff, largely because orcs are also plentiful. Like when they descend on a planet, it's a swarm. It's not like Nids where it's like, obviously there's a lot of Nids in a Nid fleet, but like they attack with purpose. They're not just like, oh, we're here now. Like, cha-cha, let's go. Okay, so we'll say you've got the most familiarity. And I think if you're a forbidden knowledge guy and also with that commissar
we're
training,
talking about food in the general chat.
Probably make it abundantly clear what you're dealing with.
Oh, balls. All right. So it's orcs, friends. I mean, great news. Thank you, Emperor. Thank you. Very fast, not very maneuverable. Shoot a great deal, not tremendously accurately, but they will definitely kill us if they hit. I'm imagining this is an invasion. Could we please find Imperial forces and set down within them? Please, please, please very much.
Okay, so a few things are happening all at once. These three planes are opening fire with their heavy shooters, so just getting the full Daka treatment. As to Valentine's point, not every bolt hits, but the ones that do sound like that heavy hail that hits cars, like they're denting the exterior of the vehicle. Happily, it is it's armored enough for breaching atmospheres, so it's a hardy vehicle, but not for long. So Valentine is given the order to try and connect to some kind of Imperial force somewhere on planet. or off planet, Ryan? What do you think you'd be after?
Probably on planet. We still need to get to, unless there is someone off planet. We didn't see anybody off planet, so my guess is we still got to get Glasgow Vicodin. So
yeah. Okay, so basically your options, as I see them, are you need someone flying the ship. So Alto, I assume you're still at the controls, still rocking out, with Akri being your Chewbacca. You've basically, someone's going to have to operate scanners, because I feel like evasive maneuvers are going to take up all of Alto and Akri's time. Akri trying to find where on the planet you can land, Alto actually flying. In terms of weapon systems, the ship does not seem particularly well equipped for, it does have some weapons, but it's not meant for dogfighting, if that makes any sense. So it's more a strong deterrent. So probably like
it has that one like gun.
The hell?
Yeah, it's like
to
God damn it!
Blow up that fuel tank.
It's the first time someone of these guys has done something like this.
It's like a single las cannon kind of deterrent. And then likely, we'll say, since we're kind of sticking with the airplane metaphors, front-mounted bolters. So if you want a dogfight, you can like fire hard ammo at the front. Otherwise, you have the one we'll say it's on a full gimbal up top, Millennium Falcon style, just so you can get full use. But single las cannon that can either be operated by the pilot or by someone at a weapons station. So essentially you have two jobs. It's up to you, Valentine and Lyric, who wants to take what. Keep in mind you do also have your new best friend Haldren Blackhand, who's like, wow, those guns sure are making impressive noises. I would love to get my hands on one of those, all of them. And like you can see all the spider hands doing like a Mr. Burns steeple over top of his head.
Well, Lyric, if you would like to take the guns, perhaps I'll take the scanners. And Haldren, if anything breaks, please fix it for the Emperor's sake. Cheerfully and hopefully, but fix it.
Yeah, whatever you say, boss. Let's do some battles.
So I'll immediately run up to the top,
okay.
Whatever that is. What did you say it was?
Oh, it's a las cannon.
Las cannon?
Yeah. So you hop up, and you kind of like click on all the gear. I think you find that the actual little chair and sort of setup you've got there isn't. It almost feels disused. You get the sense that the arbitrator likely did everything from the cockpit in the same way Alto did previously. So this is here, but he often seemed to just fly alone. So it's kind of one of those disused spaces. So I'm going to need you, please, to see if you can get... And maybe
I've been farting for the last 4 hours. What?
I mean... Yeah, RAP Genesis system. Very redundant. Cool. So I think, please, what I'd like from you, Laura, is a tech use. So that's intellect and tech use.
Oh, no.
Or I will give you a cunning and cool, which would be you realizing that this is far beyond your knowledge and you should just be asking Alto. I guess it's the question of, do your hands immediately go for the joystick, being like, I'm going to shoot these fuckers out of the air, in which case I want tech use, or is it like, I don't know what the fuck to do with this?
Yeah, no, Lyric is too calculating in her fighting, especially long range stuff.
Oh, come on, again.
She's not one to take chances.
Okay, great. So in that case, say cunning and presence and cool. Those are the two.
Cool. It's a little bit better. Oh, that's actually not better at all. It's exactly fucking the same. Okay. All right. What's my difficulty?
I'm gonna say because you're consulting Alto 2, it's gonna be a much easier one. In terms of story points, I'm gonna go ahead and say we're 3 and 1 in your favor.
Okay.
I'm gonna limit our pool a bit more. We've been doing 6, but I realize that usually just means there's like a big pad, and I'd rather just keep it sort of one point for each of us, essentially, for this session, and then we'll see where we go from there. I'm going to give you one setback because he's splitting his attention between flying and communicating with Akri and like not really paying attention. Also, I think in combat he always just kind of assumes you've got what you need.
Yeah.
But I will also give you a boost because you're generally, I feel like having a barrier between you and being able to fight back is really frustrating. So there's a certain determination to, I don't care what it takes to make this work. I would like to make this work.
All right. I got to use one of those story points.
Go ahead, my friend.
Because we are looking real rough with these dice here.
All right, cool. So we're now at 2 and 2.
2 and 2. Cool.
Even split.
2 successes and 2 threats.
2 successes and 2 threats. Okay, so you open up with you flip on the comms. What would you say to Alto to get him to help you on this?
Just very straightforward. Alto, I need your help with this.
Okay, you need to turn that on. You need to access that and hold on. And I think it sticks to the left a little.
Okay.
You wiggle it like there's just a quick frustrated wiggle out of the stickiness, and you're like, oh yeah. That is true. You're not going to tell him, but it's true. And you regain control of the stick. So, turning the las cannon on the first craft, I would assume, given that this is a weapon you're not that familiar with, even though you did see it blow up that other ship, you just kind of fire a lancing blast off just to kind of get a feel for it. But the nice thing about las weapons is it's a nice straight beam for a hot second there. So it shears across one of the orc fighters. And sorry, for scale, these things are bigger than they're kind of midway between a bomber and a Spitfire. So like, they're not as big as your ship, but they're not little craft like sort of buzzing around you. They're a little smaller than the one you're in.
You mean it's not a bunch of orcs going tick, 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 like little fly?
Look, Laura, the session is we're still early in the session. Yeah. There are guys called Storm Boys, and you might be about to meet some. So just hang tight. There's gonna be some flying orcs. Just hang on. So the blast shears across kind of the top of the nearest ship. Just for the purposes of our brains, the predominant color on each of these is what we'll go by. So we've got a red plane, a yellow plane, and a blue plane. So your blast shears across the top of yellow. And it kind of disappears. Now, keep in mind, you're coming through this kind of like dense cloud cover and fog. So you're just getting glimpses of these colors through the gaps. There's unfortunately no real clear line of sight. But you definitely strike a hit and you see it pull away. So where it was clearly flying information around you, it's pulled off.
I got the competitor or competition here.
Over the because you rolled 2 threat over the radio, still through the static, you hear, "Well, okay, boys, seems like it's time to go. Strap them on and take them out. Go orcs!" And then you hear a number of rocket blasts, and buzzing out of the clouds come the Storm Boys, who are orcs with rockets strapped to their backs and little tiny flight goggles, who just kind of, you see almost like in a Disney movie like Mulan, when someone fires off a bunch of like rockets all at once, they all kind of spray off in different directions. It's kind of that vibe. So like clearly they all just like burst out of the back of the ship. All their rockets kind of fire in different directions. So you see kind of a bunch of flares around you. But the Storm Boys are in action. Alto and Valentine, what are your what's your base agility? Or sorry, what is your base? We'll go with cool.
I have 1 rank in cool and 3 presents, so 4.
Okay.
Or no, sorry. Oh man, it's been a minute since I used the system. 2 green, 1 yellow is what that would translate to for me.
I am very bad at cool. Am I looking at scanners or what am I doing?
You're looking at scanners. This is for initiative. I just want to know who's going next. So
yeah,
if
cool,
you're bad at it, no, it's cool. If you're bad at it,
I got like 2 dice just for presents. I got nothing in cool.
Gotcha. All good, man.
He instinctually shoots things when stuff goes bad. It's a terrible habit.
Great.
He is John Travolta in Pulp Fiction, just all the time. Just a bump in the car, there's a dead guy in the back.
I mean, look, that's why there's car washes. Okay, so Alto, you are again cutting through the clouds. Fighter craft are firing at you. What do you do?
Since I don't have a heading from Acre yet, it's purely evasive maneuvers. I think Alto's thinking is we can't blast back into space because it's all just open sky. We need to get closer to the ground, I think, where there's potentially more cover.
Yes. Okay, that makes sense. So with that in mind, let's go with Tyler, it's also been a hot second for me. Remind me, what were we using for? You're using driving, right? For flight?
Yeah.
That makes the most sense. So, can you give me a driving check, please? I'm gonna say this is difficulty. It would have been 3, but given that Lyric just kind of like temporarily scared one off, we're gonna say 2. But I'm gonna upgrade both of those to red. So we are now 4-0 in your favor.
This is a serious situation. What do I have at my disposal? Like this thing doesn't have any kind of shielding or anything like that, right?
No. So this is, and correct me if I'm wrong, Ryan, but my understanding of most 40k stuff is shielding is like armor, more particularly for the Imperium. It's more armor than it is fields. Would that be?
Yeah, I mean, capital ships might have fields. Like if you're looking at battleships or cruisers, individual ships, it's like nope, they just strap plate to it. Unless you got
essentially an armored car.
Yeah.
So you don't have a lot by way of armor. Now that said, the good news, if there is good news, is that orc armaments do tend to be either wildly explosive because they just like hack together a laser and it's like there's no safeties on it, so it's like deadly for them and you, or it's hard ammo. So the advantage you have is like it's not like lasers are piercing through the ship.
Okay.
It is just kind of this hail of bullets.
Okay, so I will use my hand on the throttle ability, which is once per round I increase or decrease speed by 1 to a minimum of 0 or max of vehicle top speed. So I just want to put more and more distance between us.
Okay, great.
Between us and these ships or these planes pursuing us.
All right, so let's take that then as I'll say we'll go with 2 boost.
Okay.
As a benefit of that, I'm gonna give you. I'd actually say these cancel each other out, so we won't do any of them. Technically, 1 setback and 1 boost for flying through clouds. It makes the orcs harder to see, but it also makes you easier to dodge.
Right.
Makes it easier for you to dodge, rather. Cool. I think that's it for me.
Okay. I've got my mind impulse unit plugged in. That helps me with driving and tech use, so +1 blue for that as well.
Nice.
But I think that's all the bonuses I get for driving, which is fine.
Sorry, you can take 1 more for Acre.
Oh, okay. All right, I'm gonna roll. We have all the story points now, right?
That is correct. Yep.
Okay.
And you can use them to upgrade. You just can't use them to downgrade the ones I've already spent. Man,
Alto, you are literally baby driver. 6 successes, 3 advantages.
Sometimes all you need is a good beat. Holy shit. Okay, so this is full on like the Falcon through the asteroid field, just like dipping and dodging, storm boys crashing into each other like they're the fucking angels in the outfield.
That's such a weird pull.
Look, man, whenever I see 2 people run into each other and miss something important, it's a sports movie. Cool. Okay. Hang tight on those, but yes, you're in tremendously good shape. Given this ambush, fuck, man. That was what, 6 successes?
Yeah, brought down. Like that's the net. I rolled 7 successes and 6 advantages, but then I got 1 failure and 3 threats.
Holy shit, man.
All right, everybody go home. I think Tyler's got this for all of us for the rest of the session.
As long as it's not combat, I'm great. if it's about the running away part, I'm your guy.
Good thing the space wolves are space marines, not literal wolves from space. You'd be in dire trouble. Okay, Ryan, can you go ahead, please, using the instruments here. I think we're going to go with tech use and intellect.
Okie dokie. What's my difficulty?
I'm going to say 1. You start meddling with the scanners. It's actually quite, even though this is old tech, it's comfortable for you to be back in an Imperial craft that isn't like a weird civilian pleasure cruiser. And the fact that this is built for military means you're better equipped for it. I will give you 1 setback just for like the heat of combat being distracting, particularly with like Alto fucking baby drivering all over the place. It makes it somewhat harder to like fiddle with knobs and dials. But I will give you 1 boost for your little servitor buddy.
Awesome.
Not
Tom,
long
I do
until
have
I level
tempered
up
will,
now.
which means I can remove 1 black die inflicted by critical injuries, the disoriented condition, and fear. Would that remove that die?
I'd absolutely take that for this because all the like ducking, weaving, and barrel rolling is definitely disorienting. So having just fucked with some spaceflight games in VR, very disorienting. Not fun. So yeah, that's great.
Cool, and I'll use a story point because he's not great at tech use, but spiritually, he needs the future.
Gotcha.
Sheer determination, and I feel like he's singing himself a song as he always does when he's nervous, and he knows one specifically that's orc related, so it's just quietly going for himself. And it's just orcs, they tremble when they hear it. Knobs, they know they ought to fear it. It's so bright they cannot smear it. Everybody loves it. Your throne. Just humming away.
Wow.
3 advantages, but 1 failure.
Okay, interesting.
Lyric hates it, but Laura's in heaven. That was beautiful.
Lyric hates the lyrics. What a day. Okay. What an inconvenient pool of dice.
The system they're using, it sounds so messed up compared to die 20.
I just don't know where the chug they are.
Yeah, actually, realistically, that is kind of the issue. So, you immediately find an Imperial frequency. Oh, actually, no. Okay, I know what to do with that. So you actually managed to make contact with an Imperial frequency. Coming from planet side, you quickly recognize it as a like an Imperial Guard frequency. It seems to be a regiment of some sort.
Who are signups open?
You hear a voice on the other end say, unidentified Imperial vessel. Can you identify, please?
Hello, this is Inquisitor Lucius Valentine, requiring a safe berth for my ship. It's a pleasure to meet you. Hail the Emperor!
Yes, hail the Emperor and such. This is shift leader, Mebius Pocus. Listen, sir, we didn't have any scheduled visitors coming in today, and I gotta tell you, I'm under strict orders not to spare any assistance for anyone. So you're kind of on your own there, champ. But listen, if you can break the orc line and make it to our side, well, we'll definitely cover you as you come down. Here's the coordinates. Good luck. Hail the Emperor.
Wonderful. Your name was Mebius Pocus, just to be entirely clear.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, Shift Commander Mebius Pocus.
Shift Commander Mebius Pocus. Wonderful. I look forward to meeting you. Thank you for assisting the Inquisition.
Okay, you have yourself a pleasant Imperial day. sir. Also, listen, if it's not too much trouble, if you do survive and make it past the line, I'd really appreciate it if you could fill out an employee review form. If you were pleased with your service here today.
Can Lyric hear this?
I don't know. Do you think you'd be pumping it through the? How do you imagine you're connected this? Would this just be through like a Vox and the?
Yeah, I'm imagining it's probably like a cop. Like if we're picturing the cop car, that it's like the talk into the hand thing.
Yeah. Okay. Then yes, 100% you can hear it.
Hey, Mebius, shut the fuck up and let us fly.
Okay. You know what? Maybe don't let her fill out the form, or don't fill it out at all.
Yes, understood. Thank you very much. And then he'll just like release the thing and put it down and be like, you don't have to be rude to him. I'm probably going to shoot him when we land.
Well, then it's even more of a waste of time for him to talk. Like,
no,
seriously.
They said they'd cover us if we get through the orc line. So we have something to gain, which we now still have. Then I kill him afterwards so we don't die.
God, you people do things so slowly. Let's go.
Well, I'm not flying. Why are you yelling at me?
That'd be me. Hold on.
Oh, good morning, John.
Like hard, like deceleration and like strong pivot, and we're like lined up with the new coordinates and just like full throttle it.
Amazing. So, yeah, you say that over your shoulder, you turn, and again, just like baby driving like no one's business. This could not be going better for you. But unfortunately, you know, back where you come from, most bugs that splatter on the windshield are small. Here, they're plated in armor and are carrying choppas. So as you spin the vehicle, you hear a sickening crunch as the viewport makes contact with a different manner of bug, a storm boy whose jetpack forces what's left of his shredded corpse through the windshield, shattering it, and the air in the cockpit begins to be sucked out. Haldron looks up and goes, "Oh yeah, fixing things."
Yeah, yes, Holger, that'd be great. Is there like an oxygen drop we can do? They have those on some ships. They had it on the extra line if we needed it.
Nope, I don't think so. Hey, Acri, how about you? Yeah, y'all, I'm not seeing anything like that on here. I think he kept real bad care of this. Maybe just hold your breath, son.
Yeah, everybody else, hold your breath. And then he'll also activate his shield around himself, hoping it'll hold in some amount of environment. He doesn't know.
Which is good, because flying full tilt at the shattered cockpit viewport are 3 screaming storm boys.
This episode of the Valentine Heresy features Ryan LaPlante at the Ryan LaPlante on Twitter as Inquisitor Lucius Valentine, Tyler Hewitt at Tyler_Hewitt on Twitter as Alto, Laura Hamstra at EL Hamstra.
How is the World Championship going? Is it anything in Florida as well, or is it only in other places?
Was created by Del Borovic at delborovic.com. DELBOROVIC. Our theme song is The Hordes by Megan McDuffie, and our ads use the tracks No Control and Chiefs by Jazza. JAHZZAR. Available at freemusicarchive.org. When it comes to Dum Dums and Dice, you can visit our website at dumdumdice.com. Our Twitter and Instagram are at dumdumdice, and on Facebook at facebook.com/dumdumdice. We have merchandise available at redbubble.com/people/dumdumdice. And most importantly, you can join our Patreon at patreon.com/dumdumdice. That's DUMBDICE. Ave Imperator.
I think I might need to consider to try playing Protection.
Dum-Dums and Dice has to give a special thank you to the Supreme
Protection Paladin, because then I can pull more enemies.
Half-Blind Prophet, James Cuellar, Charles Grams, Christopher Little, Olin Anderson, Sue One, George Dolby, One True Artistry, Orion Birchfield, Lord of Bradovic, Noel Lewis, Scott Garland, Anthony Griffin, and Jill and Noel LaPlante. If you want your name to be added to this list, you can join our Patreon too at patreon.com/dumdumdice. Thanks to them, and a little bit of thanks to you.
Ooh, 11 kills, and then I level up. And I need to start the next episode manually.
Welcome back to the grim darkness of the 41st millennium. I am Inquisitor Caveat Ventus, keeper of the Inquisition's Black Library, and this is my report on the Valentine Heresy, an actual play podcast set in the Genesis adaptation of Warhammer 40,000's Dark Heresy RPG. This report features Game Master Tom McGee, Ryan LaPlante as Inquisitor Lucius Valentine, Laura Elizabeth as Lyric, and Tyler Hewitt as Alto. My report shows that the Inquisitorial band's ship is engaged with orc attackers over Vicodin Prime. Valentine found them a place to land. Lyric knocked an enemy plane out of formation, and Alto flew like he'd never flown before. Can they survive the Storm Boys breaking through their viewport? Find out at this episode of the Valentine Heresy.
From the Arbites Vessel Manual, page 89. And remember, if your viewport breaks, you shouldn't have been flying in upper atmosphere. Please see addendum number 3. Air is blasting through the broken viewport. Alto, you have a bit of an advantage here, because you're hardwired in.
Right, the first match was in Mexico.
The cabin pressure is dropping rapidly. Good news is, though, that you're out of, like, fire atmosphere. You're just in thin air atmosphere. So, you have the coordinates now. You basically just stomped on the gas when the orc storm boy came through the windshield. You've got 3 more orcs kind of flying in now.
Yeah, sadly, I think the match where Norway is gonna play is gonna be around midnight or something. On a weekday, so that's not really good.
Just kind of shoot the checkpoint as fast as you can. Or B, you can throw yourself off course in an attempt to reduce the amount of orcs who will make it through the windshield. Which would you like to do?
I would veer off course to reduce the number coming into the cockpit.
Okay. Great. So let's do a pilot check. This one's going to be considerably harder just because of all the havoc that's going on. So we'll say piloting difficulty 4. I'm going to give you 2 setback for oxygen-related issues. I'll give you, again, you get your 2, I believe it's 2 blue from your hardwiring, is that correct?
Or 1 is what I gave myself, yeah.
You get 1 more from Acri, who of course doesn't need to breathe. And I think, Tyler, I'll give you 1 more for the fact
I think the only football match that is like normal time for us is the one with France versus someone else. That's like 9 o'clock in the at night.
Don't take that blue.
I guess probably around 3 o'clock for you guys.
We're just going to get us like assailed by more and more until we break the line. So I'll keep us on trajectory.
Yep.
Can I use a story point?
You sure can.
I don't have any greens to upgrade to yellow.
Okay, so then we'll take that as let's take it as a
Nora was fighting or playing against
upgrade one of your blues to a green.
Iraq.
Let's use that system from now on. That's makes so much more sense than the mangled versions I came up with on the fly during Dumbscum. Okay, so this brings us to 2 and 2 again with our story dice. Yeah.
Okay. I think I'm ready to roll.
Just before you do, Tyler, the only other thing I guess I would offer is Valentine. You could theoretically assist. However, there are orcs coming through the windshield, and I assume you're getting into combat, not into like I'll stay.
Correct.
Yeah. Cool. So no assist.
Okay. Wow. That was a tough one. 1 success, 1 threat is the result.
Okay. Given how spectacular
ISP sent a message yesterday because the internet disappeared and I just had to restart the modem.
I'm going to give you a slight edge on this, just because I think that roll was so astoundingly good that it's worth echoing throughout the ages, to be told by the bards to future generations. Okay, so I'll say you don't manage with that. You manage to kind of roughly jerk the craft to starboard enough so that one of the storm boys just like smashes off the side. You hear a sickening crunch of bones and metal before the rocket kind of pings off the side of the craft and flies away. Two of them manage to make it in. You're off the trajectory, but not by much. You feel like one.
Yeah, after I level up now and go to Stormwind, I need to stop playing and make some breakfast.
Unfortunately, your cold weather gear that I believe you and Valentine still have, I know Lyrics was pretty shredded. It does not help against suffocating or thin air.
No, it wouldn't. What is the difficulty against this roll?
It's going to crank up based on the turn. To start with, we're going to say it's at a 1. Okay. There's still enough. Right now, it's more just a pain in the ass as air kind of gets forced down your throat, but soon it will be very problematic.
Okay, I'm ready.
Yay.
Go ahead.
2 successes, 2 threats.
Okay. Great. Cool. So it's uncomfortable, but again, you're hardwired. When you are hardwired, Tyler, how do you imagine that feels for Alto?
Ooh, Seal of Command.
Is it like a Matrix thing? We've talked about this briefly before, but I'm curious. There's something really fascinating to me about the idea of if you're jacked into something and your brain is engaged through electronics, how do you feel about the meat attached to the metal that you're using?
I think Alto... I think it's different from jacking into something like a computer and jacking into something like a vehicle. Mm-hmm. I think for a vehicle, it's you remain in your body and just kind of almost like a HUD appears in your vision.
I need to go to Stormwind to
charting courses,
transfer some items to my my bank.
Various like diagnostics and things like that.
Yeah.
That's how I see
Where
that.
Where would you like to fly
like
to?
Because you wanna be driving,
Wait,
right?
The
You need
AI
you need to be able to see
work.
what you're doing. So I think it's kind of like double vision of
great
this additional information and stuff.
Yeah,
like that.
I think that also tracks with the kind of technology that we know exists in the Imperium, particularly in 40K, because you need like proper astropaths to chart like space course. So it makes sense to me that this would be like, no, you need your eyes because either get a powerful psychic and they'll do it for you and their heads will explode when they're done, or look look out the front window. So cool, I like that a lot. Okay, so then still very aware of the physical degradation of losing cabin pressure. Yep.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, very cool. Great. Lyric, you haven't acted in a bit, but okay, actually no, this is a good question. So you hear the commotion downstairs. I don't think you have a direct line of sight on unless you kind of like poke your head down and around. Do you think you would stay focused on repelling the aircraft?
Yeah,
or would you go
6 p.m. so like 12 o'clock or something or is it 1 o'clock?
I would stay focused on my job because I
at night for us.
Trust. I'm not actually useful down there. So, but I think I will like calm to Alto.
But maybe if I just go to bed early, I can wake up.
Now is an excellent time
and watch it
to get us the hell out of here. Just a reminder.
All you hear back is help! We've been boarded.
Like I said, the faster the better.
Okay. Lyric, there are three aircraft that you're engaged in combat with. The yellow, and again, please do remember when I say the yellow aircraft, it's not fully yellow. It's not the Magic School Bus. It is of the hideous patchwork of colors. Yellow is the most prominent. Yellow's the one you scored a hit on earlier.
Mm-hmm.
It seems to have pulled off, so it's harder to see, but it's also further out, and it's not currently contributing storm boys and fire to what's occurring to the ship. You can see blue and green, I believe, were the other two colors. Did we say blue and green? No, sorry, blue and red. Because
red, yellow, and blue are the playing colors.
Yeah, because I didn't want to use green because the orcs. Okay, great. So I guess my question to you is, would you try and sight the target that you already hit, or would you go for one of the closer ones that's still actively
Welcome
firing?
to the Bank of Stormwind.
Oh, one of the actively
We offer
firing
financial
ones,
accounts and safety deposit
great.
boxes for valuable items. Do you already have an account with us, sir?
Red or blue?
Red.
All right, light them up.
Because, I don't know, I'll imagine it bleeding or something.
As you do that, you actually your vision blurs slightly, and even though it's just kind of an enemy craft nearby, you can feel tremendous psionic energy coming off of it, and so much so that as your eyes kind of defocus, you even though you kind of can't visually see it, you can kind of see it through the clouds. So go ahead and roll your attack, please. So I believe we'd said this was
tech use.
Yeah,
it was tech use to boot it up.
Or was cool.
You
cool,
can now,
it was cool.
Yeah, you can now switch over to gunning. You needed the first check to get.
Well, yeah, I think I have to go make some breakfast now. My daughter was yelling she's hungry, so I will see you guys later and have a nice.
Oh, it's its own thing. Shit.
It is, yeah.
Yeah,
so,
it's you should probably go to bed soon, John. I guess.
But you got agility.
Yeah.
So yeah, see you later.
Agility, yes.
I will say, how much do you have in?
Good
in
night,
heavy?
or goodbye.
I have 1 rank in that.
Okay. I'm going to let you use that for this because you successfully passed the